Hi everyone, welcome back to Function Pilates. I'm Vanessa Kelly, founder of Function Pilates, located here in Tempe, Arizona, and today I'm back with another unilateral flow. So this is going to be a full body reformer workout focused on challenging each side of the body independently while building greater awareness through control and connection throughout our movements. So the goal of this session is really to slow things down and take inventory of your body. So I want you to pay attention to the differences between the right and the left side. Notice where you feel stronger or more stable and observe where compensation patterns may start to show up for you. This workout is designed to help improve balance, coordination, alignment, and overall body awareness while continuing to build strength through these unilateral movement patterns. So now this class is going to be a little bit more intermediate focused, so it may not be the best fit if you're completely brand new to Pilates because we are building off foundational Pilates principles and movement patterns throughout the flow. But if you're ready to challenge yourself a little bit more and deepen your understanding of your own body, then you are absolutely in the right place. So if you're interested in becoming a Pilates instructor and learning how to teach and observe movement in this way, I would highly encourage you to check out the Function Pilates Teacher Training Academy. We offer both in-person training here in Tempe, Arizona, as well as online programs available worldwide so you can learn from anywhere. And if you're already an active Pilates instructor looking to advance your career and eventually teach students of your own, we also offer the Function Pilates Master Trainer Program, and we are currently enrolling on that as well. I'll leave all those links for you in the description box below. And one more thing, if you're looking to continue expanding your Pilates education, whether you're an instructor or simply a Pilates enthusiast wanting to learn more, I also have a Jumpboard Workshop available. I'm so excited about it. It's a 90-minute continuing education workshop where I cover beginner to advanced Jumpboard exercises. We're gonna have creative variations, different props, programming ideas, modifications, and overall technique in much more detail. So if that interests you, I'll leave that link below as well for additional information. But all right, if you guys are ready to get started, let's go ahead and begin. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started, and I'm actually gonna start with a couple roll downs today because let's just do a quick little inventory of our bodies right now. I know I like to do these at the end of our session, which we will, but let's check in with our bodies right now before we begin this unilateral series today, okay? So starting with hip distance apart here with the feet, let's just go ahead and relax our shoulders down, arms are long, sit up nice and tall for me, and then we're gonna go ahead and bring those arms straight up towards the ceiling, and then take a dive all the way down, like really round out your spine, drop your shoulders away, take it slowly as you reach your fingertips to the floor. Again, depending on how, when you're doing this workout, if it's in the morning or during the day, our bodies are gonna feel a little different. Start to draw your abdominals up and in, push your feet into the floor, rebuild intentionally here. So your arms are long, your head's elasting up, and the shoulders, just bring them down those back pockets. Let's try that one more time. So sweep those arms straight up towards the ceiling. Let's go ahead and take a dive all the way, fingertips reaching for the floor. Beautiful. Maybe push your tailbone up towards the ceiling a little bit more to extend the back of those legs if they're not too tight, or add a little micro bend into your knees if you need to reduce the stretch here. And then slowly using your long exhalation, rebuild the spine into a nice tall standing position, shoulders roll all the way down those back pockets. It feels like so good to like feel where your body is at in this moment right now. Okay, so I like to start out with some footwork. So we're going to begin with 2 mediums and 1 light spring. And we're going to lie ourselves down on our back. Headrest is at a halfway up position for me. And then before I just jump right into into our single leg footwork, I do want to do a few repetitions with our double leg just to get connected to our core here, okay? So from that, heels are on, flex at the ankles, arms are straight beside you, resting, collarbone is open. Let's take an inhale to prepare, and exhale, press out to 2 straight legs. So it's gonna feel a little bit more on the lighter side, especially with the double leg, and then starting to slowly return home and exhale, press. So as you are going through each of these repetitions, I want you to initiate the pressing motion from your abdominal muscles. Like, so what does that mean exactly, right? So I want you to think about pressing your low back into the mat to feel like your abdominals are engaging, right? Like if you were putting on a pair of tight jeans, that's like the sensation that we want to lean into as we're contracting and engaging those muscles here, okay? So sometimes it can take practice, and that's okay. So just, be gentle on yourself. Start to just, again, practice each of these movement patterns, and that will eventually get you into a stronger mindset as you continue your Pilates journey here. Okay, and then if we add on another layer here, I'm gonna challenge you, because we're working with such a lighter spring, I want you to also take that same type of feeling and place it in the back of your legs so you can feel your hamstrings engage and turn on as well. Beautiful. We're gonna go ahead and try to reduce any rocking of your feet so your toes are directly pointed up towards the ceiling here. Beautiful. And let's go ahead and press out for 3. Getting long, think about your sits bones equally pressing into the carriage. 2. And I'm gonna have you stay out on this last one. Hold it for me, okay? So we're nice and long through our legs here. Let's bring those arms up towards the ceiling, and I'm gonna have you curl your head and chest up here so you're in a long position. All right, so hold this, and we're gonna go into our hundreds here. So you're gonna pump those arms up and down, inhaling for 5 counts, exhaling for 5 counts. So what this is doing is it's helping to engage your lower extremities here as you're pushing your heels into that foot bar. You're curling up, so you're reaching those fingertips towards the foot bar, really, again, fine-tuning any type of heat and deep connection in your midsection. So stay long, keep pressing your heels into the foot bar to really feel a full body workout develop here as we warm up the body and prepare it for its full body workout here. Good, we're halfway through, inhaling for 5 counts, exhaling for 5 counts. Think of 2 mini basketballs here as you're dribbling them. Very intentional work. Beautiful. 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, hold. Start to lower the body down, shoulders might be a little snug, and then start to soften through those knees and return it. The whole point is that now we got the midsection warm and we are feeling the heat here, okay? Because we're going to work off of that. I'm a huge fan of adding a tiny little warm up in the beginning. So with your heels exactly where they're at, we're not moving anything, you're just gonna go ahead and pop that left leg into your tabletop position. Again, unilateral stuff here, so you wanna feel it. Am I teeter-tottering to one side? How can I actually hold a nice stable position here? So inhale to prepare, exhale, we press. All of a sudden, the spring load has caught up to us, right? So it feels very in line with our single leg work here. Good. And again, like I said in the very beginning, I want you to feel the back of the leg here activate as you press out to a straight leg. Beautiful. Exhale, press. Inhale to soften. Exhale to press. Inhale to soften. Good. How much more in tune can you get with your core, with your hamstring? Feel the quad even firing up as we help to strengthen the knee here. And let's not forget about the left leg. It's a very energetic leg. It's intentional holding this tabletop position. okay? And take it away for 3. Exhale, push out 2. Good, last time. And extend, hold. Let's bring it in halfway. Pause it right there. Little pulses here, so tiny, so small, like you're barely moving the carriage. That's when the work is being done. Beautiful. Keep breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stretch it out. And let's bring it back in. So good. That little burn, you should feel it right above your knee. Again, that's a great indication that we're helping to strengthen the surrounding muscles of the knee here, okay? So let's pop the right leg into the tabletop, flex at your left ankle, inhale to prepare, and exhale, we extend. Good. Now, again, as you're going through this side, what's occurring? Are you feeling like you are putting weight on the inside of your foot or the outside of your foot? So paying attention, challenging yourself to take inventory of your body here so that you get the utmost benefit of every single exercise that you're doing here. Pilates is intentional, it's a lifestyle, and you grow on it and you build. Beautiful. Exhale, extend. Inhale to bring it in. Take it for 6. Feel those hamstrings. This one for me too, this is a little challenging. I'm not able to connect on a deeper level with my left side like I can with my right, mainly because I'm right side dominant. So you might understand that in your body too, like, oh yeah, I didn't really feel that on the other side like I am now, or vice versa. Good. And press out. Let's take it here too. And one more time. Good. We're gonna hold and pause. We're gonna take it in halfway. So again, halfway, right where you feel the heaviness, that's where you know that's the solid point here, okay? So adding those pulses, so little, just micro sizes here as we pulse in and out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and extend it out. Beautiful. And let's bring you back in again. Okay, let's come down to your toes. So we're gonna stay on our toes, back to both feet, mainly because I want the alignment to get set up the right way. And then once we're ready, we're gonna go ahead and take our left leg and extend it out for me, okay? So we're gonna hold it. We just made this extra challenging because with the leg extended does require us to, again, be very in tune with our neutral pelvis, neutral spine here. All right, inhale to prepare, and exhale, press out long. Good, and soften. Good, so continue to reach out energetically through your left toes. Again, think of maybe pressing a little bit more deeper in from your low back into the mat to stay connected. Good. And watch with the knee that it's tracking nicely so that the knee is pointing directly to the ceiling, not swaying back and forth, basically not coming in towards your midline, not actually leaving the midline here. Good. And pressing out. Extend. Again, when you're on your toes, this does challenge the work even further because there's just more distance to be made. And plus, this is all coming from the ball of our foot, which is challenging the intrinsic muscles of the toes here too. And pressing out. 3, relax through your neck and shoulders. 2, good, last time. Exhale, extend. And then let's go ahead, bring it back in again. Good. Okay, let's come down to your left toes here, good alignment. Once we're ready, we'll extend that right leg out nice and long, and then inhale to prepare, and exhale, we stretch. Good, and back in. I have to adjust my foot here. Again, this is my weaker side. I know that about my body, so for you guys, make those adjustments for yourself so that you are working the appropriate muscle groups as we're going through these exercises. It's, again, I've said this before, it's a lifelong journey when we are learning about our bodies and the anatomy of it. And things change, right? Things change, postural patterns change, any injuries that you've had, that all takes place in how we need to make the adjustments in the present moment. Good. And exhale for 5. Nice and strong, nice and connected. 3, like what are you noticing differently in your body as you started your Pilates journey? 2, and 1, extend, and let's bring you back in again. Beautiful. Okay, let's take it out to a wider stance here. All right, so yeah, this is gonna be even more challenging because of the frame work that we have here. It's definitely outside of our original frame, so that's gonna require you to create more stability through your hips, all right? So heels are on, we're in our wide second position, slightly externally rotated from the hip, and then I'm gonna have you bring your left leg up into tabletop, more of like an attitude. We call this more like attitude position here, okay? So it's not naturally in tabletop where it's parallel, it's slightly externally rotated. So inhale to prepare, flex your right foot and extend. Good. So again, really watching what the pelvis is doing and how much you have to work through your obliques in order to maintain a nice squared position through your body. And extend and return. Good. Try to again soften through your neck and shoulders. Huge smile on your collarbone, right? We don't want to creep those shoulders up and round anything more than we have to. And extend out and bring it in. And press and in. Feeling that heat develop through your thigh. Again, a lot of the work above the knee. And how is this feeling for you guys? Is this challenging at all? Like, let me know what feels so uncomfortable or just so like awkward. That's always like fun because that's like when your body's like speaking to you as well. Good, last time, press. And then go ahead and bring it back in. Okay, let's set ourselves up first. And then we'll go ahead and take our right leg into that attitude tabletop position. Inhale to prepare and exhale, reach out. Good. So again, new side and lots of thought process here. Lots of thought process. So again, you want to feel so rooted into the carriage that you're not letting your body navigate to one side. So just be very conscious and aware of that, of your positioning. And pressing out. And resisting the tension as you return for 5. Again, energetic through that attitude tabletop position. You don't want it to get floppy because it's still doing work. Holding tabletop requires work. And 3. Exhale, 2. Beautiful. Nice and slow. And reach. And bring yourself back in again. Okay, let's come back to the toes here. We'll just do some nice running. Okay, so with running, you're gonna push out to 2 straight legs, and we're going to just bend one knee, straighten the other, but then it gets quicker, so it's more rapid, where I don't want you to go so quick where you're getting a little bit bouncy and you're losing your stability in your hips. So if you find yourself going so fast and that you can feel your body occurring in those movement patterns, slow it down, okay? Slow it down. Running is great to stretch out those calves, but also work on the mobility of the ankles here too. And really understand, can you have all of your toes connected to the foot bar? So if you feel like one is not staying connected, how can you challenge yourself to make sure that it does? Maybe you do have to slow down, and that's okay too, because you'll get the most benefit out of that stretch as you're working here. And we'll take it here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's drop both heels under, just like that. Think of your heels reaching across the room here, getting a little bit longer, opening up the backs of those knees. And then let's lift both heels, soften through the knees, and return home. Okay, let's sit ourselves up, and we're gonna adjust our spring tension so that we can get into our supine ab series, single arm. So I'm gonna go down just to one medium spring, which is one red. And I'm already with my handles. So if you have handles, loops, totally fine. Either one's gonna work. I just prefer to work with the handles for a better grip. Okay, so when we're here, we want to again find that our shoulders are not shrugging up against the shoulder blocks, okay? I wanna start with my wrist above my shoulder, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take one leg at a time into tabletop as I continue to hold this resistance. All right, so inhale to prepare here, and then exhale, press down. So with our unilateral single arm exercises, you will probably feel again like your body wants to shift to one side. And I have my hand right on my belly just as a reminder to keep pulling my belly button away from my hand so I don't end up arching my low back here, okay? So maybe you need to do that for yourself. Maybe you need to pull your knees in closer for your tabletop. Totally fine. You gotta do what works for your body and modify. It's only temporary. And exhale, press. As your body gets stronger, your tabletop position is gonna look different. And then we reach for 3. Good. And 2. And one more time. Hold it down for me. Let's bend the elbow wide, stay parallel to the floor, and then straighten your arm out for me. So you're bending as you inhale, and then you're exhaling to straighten. It's almost like you're putting your hand into your jean pocket here. Press, and bend. Press and reach, and bend. So what's the muscle focus? Well, we're working through the back of the armpit into our lats. You're gonna feel the bicep activate. You're gonna feel the tricep working and co-contracting together. And reach. 3. Exhale, 2. Drop that shoulder. So important to keep that right shoulder away from the ear. And then 1. Hold it here. How are we doing, guys? I know we're not getting a break here with our tabletop, so bend through that right elbow and then straighten out the arm. Good. We have 8. And exhale, press out 7. So now very tricep focused. Good. And then again, double check. I slightly feel my shoulder starting to come forward, so I want to do a self-check on myself. And press 4. Rolling it back. 3. Beautiful. 2. Good. One more time. And then hold it out long here. We're good. We're doing it. One more time here. We're gonna add these small intentional circles, like you're outlining. So many things I can think about here, but let's say we're outlining a golf ball and slowly start, like with your middle finger, you're just outlining this golf ball and it's small, right? So the reason why I picked a golf ball is because it's so small. And I want you to get a little of that burning sensation into the tricep as we focus on it. Good, and then you're gonna hold. Let's reverse the circle. Yes, so little movements are happening here with the carriage. Not a ton of movement. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then bring that arm straight up and drop the feet down. Okay, so arms should be feeling warm, right? Let's just take a little windshield wiper here if that feels okay to you, and open those arms out to the sides. Perfect. Okay, let's take it to the left side here. Now, I know again, I'm weaker on the left side, so if you have again, tendencies to know which side you're weaker, or you're gonna actually find out here too. You may wanna reduce your spring tension down to a light spring, totally fine. I would definitely do it so that you're not compensating through your form and alignment. So again, left arm is up, wrist is in line with our shoulder. Again, I like to have, as a reminder, my hand on my belly. You do not have to do that. And then let's find left leg into tabletop, and then right leg into tabletop, hold. Okay, so inhaling, and then exhale, pressing straight down. Good, new side. Again, take into consideration what your body is saying to you. I find it always so interesting how our body speaks to us all the time in every way. And it's so important to continue to build that awareness. I think that's why I love Pilates so much, is that it does help us build so much awareness into our bodies so that we can listen in so many different ways. Again, Pilates is all about mental health too. So if you can apply that into your lifestyle, you'll understand more of what I mean by that comment. And if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. I definitely want to understand where a lot of everyone's focus is at. Is it just a workout that you come here for, or is it for your mental health, or just more like your physical self? Let's take it here for 3. Good. Inhale it up. Exhale, press it for 2. Inhale up, nice and slow, so controlled. And 1. Hold it here. Okay, so how are we doing? Tabletop, check in. Find your neutral pelvis, neutral spine. You're gonna bend at that left elbow, straighten it and extend. Inhale to bend, and exhale, press out. Good. So again, with me talking, you don't hear so much of my breath pattern, but I am doing this to really remind you guys to focus on that breathing, because every single breath that we do helps to get the core much stronger. And pulling up from your pelvic floor. Think of your ribs expanding as you inhale. Think of your ribs cinching together as you exhale. Beautiful. And take it here for 3. Exhale, 2. And exhale, 1. Hold it there. Okay, let's go into your triceps. You're gonna bend your elbow and straighten your arm. So you're bending my elbow again is hovering off the carriage, so I'm not puncturing the carriage whatsoever. I want this work to co-contract bicep and tricep. Shoulders are back. If you are struggling with your tabletop at this point, because this is a lot of hip flexors too, I would recommend you make a modification by crossing your ankles like so, and then continuing. See if that helps you. If you're okay, then nice strong tabletop as we finish off the last few of variations here. 3 and 2 and 1 more time. Hold it there. Remember our golf ball. We're gonna go ahead and outline that entire perimeter of the golf ball. Really reaching out. Super small intentional movement patterns. I'm trying really hard not to move the carriage as I'm going through this. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it. Reverse. Take it around. Check in with your low back. Press that low back. Imprint if you have to. Continue to imprint your low back into the mat. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Bring your arm up and finding that foot bar once again. Beautiful job. Okay, I'm gonna grab a hold of the pegs here one more time and a windshield wipe those legs as I am opening up through the lumbar spine. Okay, Then we're gonna go into single leg hip work, okay? So I'm gonna switch out into my loops. And if you guys are already in your loops, fantastic. Actually, I'm just gonna start here. So right side, I have the loop on. I'm gonna place my right foot in, okay? So I have tension here already in that foot. And then I'm gonna grab a hold of my left leg and find a nice strong tabletop position here. Arms are down beside me. All right, so we're gonna paint the wall here with our right leg. I'm gonna have my foot pointed. Inhale to prepare and exhale nice and easy as we lower it down. So what's interesting here is as we go through these different variations, we're going to find that our left leg is working just as hard as that right side because there's no support. It's just hanging out in midair. Good. So again, with the feet in the straps, this is all about hip strengthening. So let's make that the huge focus here. So tailbone's gonna stay grounded. We're shining our hip bones towards the ceiling and we're trying as best as possible to stay in this straight line going up and down. So we're trying not to let the strap bring our leg left to right. It's going to naturally go straight down and up. So going in for the hamstring stretch, but then as we press down, we're working through the hamstring. And the hamstring is connected to the pelvis. So again, this is what ultimately helps to create pelvic stability and a nice, strong, stable pelvis. And bring it up. And press. So why is the pelvis so important, you might be thinking? Well, the pelvis here supports the spine, okay? And obviously we need to have a healthy spine. And then it also supports the lower extremities. It acts as a shock absorber to the lower limbs here so that when we're running, crawling, jumping, all sorts of things. 2. And last time. Let's take it down and hold it here in 45, okay? Now let's simultaneously, we're going to extend the left leg as we return the right leg to tabletop and then press out and then return and then press out. So I'm gonna flex my right foot because I'm gonna lead out with my heel, but I'm still pointing through my left toes to feel that energy just come off out of my leg here. Good. And coordination, right? One of the Pilates principles here is coordination. We are doing it. And extend. Challenges our brain. Always gotta keep our brain on its toes, right? And reach. And bend. Good. 3. Exhale for 2. And last time. Good, hold it here. Left leg stays in tabletop. And then let's do another 5. Bend and straightening. 4. 3. It's gonna get fun here in a second. And 2, and what I mean by that is we're gonna really challenge our pelvis, our neutral spine here. And 1, hold. Okay, let's go ahead and lift our left leg straight to the ceiling. We're gonna do scissors, okay? So you're gonna start to switch the legs and switch. Yes, switching and switch. Excellent. Abs are drawn in, shoulders are relaxed, our facial muscles are relaxed. I say that a lot because you don't realize like how much when we're thinking about something and when we're so focused, we seem to tense our foreheads or like or if you're a jaw clencher, like that also can occur. Let's do 4 more. Good. And switch. 3. And it's like you're cutting through air here. 2. And 1 more time. Beautiful work. How's that left side feeling? Bring it in, find your foot bar right away. Okay, Well, that was fun, right? So let's just do a nice little stretch here. We have the left leg on the left foot on the foot bar. Let's take it into our inner thigh stretch. So we're gonna take that leg out to the side and try to challenge yourself. Can you keep your left hip down? Because that's where you're gonna feel more of that adductor stretch here. And just breathe into it. Again, think of like opening up that inner thigh so it's looking straight up at the ceiling here. And again, we tend to not want to do the stretches, or maybe don't want to spend as much time on the stretches, but they're just as important as when we're actually strengthening our muscles too, okay? This is where the flexibility of Pilates comes into play. Let's bring it back up. Let's take it in for an IT band stretch. So I'm gonna keep my left leg straight. I'm gonna turn my right leg so it's internally rotated. So the toes are pointing towards the function sign. And then I'm going to keep my right hip down as I reach even further towards the function sign. Yes, and for me, I feel this starting from my ankle up my calf into the IT band here. And maybe you want a little bit more so you can bend your left knee. Totally up to you. You are on your own journey, so you know your body. Just not pushing yourself where you're experiencing like pain or tingling or anything like that. Discomfort, totally fine. Discomfort's okay, but you know yourself. And then come back through center. Let's take it into a piriformis stretch. So I'm gonna take left ankle over the right knee, and all of this is now on my left hip, stretching out. Good. So if you sit a lot, if you stand a lot, those hips are gonna be pretty tight, right? Good. Keep breathing. Maybe pull that knee in towards your chest. I'm okay if your tailbone wants to come up away from the carriage on this, because it will actually help you to stretch out even further. Beautiful. And then let's go ahead and find your foot bar right away, and then we'll remove ourselves out of here. Okay, so I'm gonna hang that up. We're gonna get to the other side. And I'm gonna switch myself out into the loop here. And let's find our left foot into that. All right, left leg's gonna come up straight, holding it for just a stretch here for a moment. And then I'm gonna find my right leg in a strong tabletop position, okay? So inhaling here and exhale. We're gonna pull it down. Again, we're painting the wall. You'll notice if you're a little bit more unstable, where things are a little bit more rocky, a little bit more shaky. So take that all in. How can you stabilize yourself even more? Where do you have to put in more of the effort in order for that to happen? Maybe that's limiting the range of motion, so you don't have to go down as far as you did on the other side, or maybe you can go further. Maybe you have to pay attention more to contracting the muscles in your midsection. But whatever it is, this is the opportunity to gain more knowledge of your own body. Press, and then bring it up. So you notice I'm not going fast in these. I'm intentionally going slow with control. So if you ever find yourself moving quickly through repetitions, no matter the exercise, Pilates was not intended for fast-paced movement. We move with flow and we transition so that we build our stamina from exercise to exercise, depending on what level you're at in Pilates. Good. And let's take it here for 4. Exhale, 3. Exhaling for 2. And one more time. And good. hold it right there. All right, this is when we're gonna go ahead and simultaneously switch the legs. So now I'm gonna flex my left foot and I'm gonna bend it in as I reach with my right, getting long, and then back in again, and reach. The lower I go with my right leg, the more challenge it will be to hold my neutral spine because my abs are gonna, the lower portion of my abs are gonna get kicked on a little bit more. And reach. So feel that in your own body. If that makes sense to you and you're feeling the same way, reach. Good. So don't let the legs just do all the work here. This, again, is being powered, fueled by our core. And take it here for 3. And 2. Good, one more time. And hold. So the right leg's gonna stay in tabletop on this one. We're gonna power slowly through that left side for 5, 4, exhale, 3, 2, good. One more, and hold it. Okay, we're gonna finish it with our scissors, so pop that right leg up for me, point both of your feet, and then we're going to switch, and switch, and switch, yes, and switch, and switch. And my right leg is not liking this, it is like starting to cramp up, so probably didn't stretch that side out more than I needed to. Good, because I've had plenty of water today. So you might notice that in your own body too. So if you see me keep moving my right leg, it's because the calf is starting to cramp up. So I just caught it. Maybe you have that same. Every day is like different too. Like, so when you come back to this video, you're like, oh yeah, that didn't happen this time. So good. 2 more. And switch, and last time. And then bring it back in. Good work. Whew, that side was not enjoying that as much. Okay, let's go ahead, finding your hamstring stretch here. So just holding that, and then when you're ready, take it out into your inner thigh stretch so you can feel that entire side open up. Try to keep your right hip down. As you are doing this, the more you bend, the deeper that inner thigh stretch will be. Nice. It's always nice when we do the stretches with our feet in because it's an assisted stretch, right? It's like if you had someone doing this for you. So it's so pleasant to add these in. And let's bring it back up. We're gonna find our IT band stretch. So this is the one where the left leg, you're internally rotated, you're pointing your toes. I'm pointing the toes towards the camera now, and I'm going to take it across my midline, trying to keep my left hip down. So doing the same for yourself. And then if you want deeper, you want more, you can bend into that right knee, and you should feel that alongside of your leg. And breathe through it. Nice and easy. Again, try not to hold your breath, trying to do what you can to soften through your upper body. Sometimes I like to have my palms up, so I'm not like overly gripping or creating tension when it's not necessary. It's just a nice reminder. And then let's come back through the center and let's finish it with our piriformis stretch. So we're gonna take our right ankle over that left knee. Let's go ahead and hug that left knee in, and you should feel this alongside your right glute here. And again, if you want deeper, you can just kind of lift your left heel up, adjust your hips, and if your tailbone comes off the mat, totally fine. I'm okay with that because it's just going to deepen the stretch if your body is willing to accept that today. Again, try not to hold the breath, but letting every breath help you gain a little bit more flexibility. And then start to slowly, let's come on out of that. So we're going to find our way to the foot bar. Okay, so let's pop on up and we're gonna go into a full body work exercise here. So I'm going to keep myself on the medium spring tension, and we're going to find ourselves kneeling. And we're gonna add in a lunge with a plank here, okay? So doing the best that you can. Obviously, if you're doing this type of workout, you're not a beginner. This is definitely more towards someone who's been seasoned intermediate. So I'm gonna talk you guys through this. And if you are a beginner, just take it slow. Add maybe an extra light spring if you need to in order to hold this, or you're just reducing your repetitions as well. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start in a plank position and drop my right foot into the well here, okay? So I'm adding in a stretch. I'm actually combining this. So I'm getting a deep hip flexor stretch on my left side here. So it feels nice. I'm watching that the knee is over the ankle. And then I'm gonna combine into my full body work 1. So from here, I'm gonna go ahead and pop myself up into plank. And then I'm gonna go ahead and drop back into my lunge, okay? So lots of abdominal work here. Inhale, shoulders are down, arms are straight, and then exhale, we lift, we extend, and drop it down. Good. And lift and extend, hold. Notice your plank position. Careful not to collapse into your neck and shoulders. Out, push into the foot bar. Good. And we're gonna take it for 3. Beautiful. 2. And the lower you go, the deeper that hip flexor is. Last time. And down. Okay, carefully, let's go ahead and make our way back to your knees. Take a moment, make some adjustments if you need to. The whole point is we're getting the heart rate up a little bit, right? That's what I mean about stamina. That is Pilates. So it wasn't like we did anything like so hardcore and like banging it out. It's about how intentional, how much slower can we get to raise our heart rate so that we're creating more internal heat in our body. So just think on that for me. Okay, let's go ahead, take it again. We're gonna find our plank. And then this time I'm gonna drop my left foot in. And I'm gonna enjoy that stretch for a moment. So the right hip flexor. Watch the springs here. Like my medium spring is on the very outside of the spring bar. So again, obviously navigate your foot where it's not hurting the spring. Okay, ready? So inhale to prepare and exhale. We reach and down. And up, strong plank, and down. And reach for 4, and down. Good. Keep your eyes on the floor, not looking ahead of you. 3. And 2. One more time. And down. Good job. All right. And bring it back in. Okay. So we're gonna go into some arm work. And I'm gonna go ahead, take it so that my feet are gonna go through the headrest. I'm gonna be sitting today on the carriage. And I'm gonna grab a hold of my right strap. I'm gonna reach with my left hand above the metal buckle, okay? So, nice and tall. I'm gonna take my right hand out. So I wanna create balance in my shoulders, so I don't wanna feel like I'm rotated to begin with. So my right arm is out, shoulder is down, and I'm gonna go into that bow and arrow where I'm pulling my left elbow back, and this work is coming from the serratus and into the lats here, and reach. Exhale. Shoulders down on purpose, and pull. Good. And pull. Exhale. Just feel your whole left side of your back light up here. So not so much of a feeling, an intentional feeling on the right side, but that left side, boy, it should feel like it's tightening up in a good way. 3. Exhale. 2. And 1. Good. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to adjust this so that I'm holding onto my loop now. So right arm is still out, but my left elbow is in next to my rib cage, and I'm going to go into external rotation. So candlesticks. Not going very far. Again, I have on a medium spring. It's not intended to go very far with this range of motion, but this is working the rotator cuff. So it's working specifically the infraspinatus and the teres minor, which are responsible for external rotation of your shoulder. It sits right above the scapula. And open and close. Good. And watch your wrist here too, guys. Open for 4. And because the shoulder is made up of 90% muscle, we want to include a lot of external rotation so we can prevent any type of injury to our shoulder last time. And hold it, okay? Let's go ahead into a bicep curl. So let's challenge our abs here a little bit more. So, I mean, we have been challenging the abs, right? But let's be more focused about it. So what I want to do is, I'm still with this loop on the right loop on my left hand. I'm going to take my hand, place it on my belly. I'm going to scoop through. So I want to find my C curve here, and then I'm going to add in my bicep curl. Just like so. And it'll feel heavier because the strap is coming from the opposite riser. Pull. Let's take it in for 5. And 4, 3, 2, good last time, and 1, and sit ourselves back up again. Okay, so let's go into the other side here. New side, new things to observe, right? Okay, my hand is above the metal buckle. I'm nice and tall. I'm gonna have my left arm out, shoulders are back to begin with. All right, so inhale to prepare, exhale, I'm gonna pull that right elbow back and return it. So careful, guys, again, because I know this is my dominant side, it's like you wanna pull a little faster, try not to. Try not to do that, and also try to avoid any tendency to begin to rotate your body. I did not add rotation into this exercise on purpose because I want to, again, focus on the different muscle groups. And reach. There's always a purpose with and an objective with every single exercise that we do, okay? And that's why we explain the why behind everything. We're not just doing, there's a reason. And reach. And exhale. 3. Exhale. 2. Nice and tall, maybe puff that chest up a little bit more. 1. Good. And release it. Okay, going into our T-cups, our external rotation. So let's go ahead and have our right elbow against our rib cage. Left arm is still out, nice and tall for me through the spine. And open. Exhale, open. Open. Beautiful. And again, nice and easy. try to keep your wrist in line with your elbow. So if you feel it drifting up or down, try to make those adjustments, those changes, because it's going to deliver the feeling in your rotator cuff differently. 3 and 2. One more. Beautiful. And release it. Okay, going into our bicep curl, okay? So left hand is on the belly. We're finding our soft elbow here. We're gonna scoop through the belly. Let's bring our arm with us. Here, hold. All right, extend and exhale. We go in for 8. Co-contract here, guys. So co-contract meaning your biceps working along with your tricep at the same time. 6 and 5. Try to stay square. Try not to rotate your body. 4. So again, limit range of motion if it's feeling too difficult. 3, 2, exhale, and 1. And let's bring you back up again, okay? So let's go into a little bit of a mermaid stretch, okay? We're in our lateral flexion part of our workout here. It's always nice. I'm still on a medium spring. I haven't changed anything. So left hand's gonna go on to the foot bar here. Let's bring our right arm up and over. Shine those ribs up towards the ceiling. And let's bring you back in again. Perfect. Think of your right hip reaching into the carriage as much as possible to open up the length of the right side. Good. On this next one, let's take it up and let's rotate the body. Okay, so let's take right hand to the edge of the foot bar, adjust your left hand, and then I'm gonna have you square your shoulders to the floor and just hold it for a second, okay? We're just pausing here for a moment, and then I'm gonna have you lift your body up. So you're squared, and then straighten it out. So you're getting a little rotation with extension here. Lift up and lower. Let's do this one more time. Lift up. And then as you push out, I'm gonna have you pause right here. You're gonna make your left hand gradually pull back to the center of the foot bar, and then you're gonna release your right hand and come right back up to the top, okay? So before we hit the other side, I wanna do one more thing here because we're warmed up. That was the whole point. I wanted to get rotation and extension in for you. I'm going on my extra light spring, which is yellow on balanced body. And then I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to my loop here, okay? So I'm gonna take my right hand out and I'm gonna start with my left hand right here, okay? So what we're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and start to extend your left arm, and you're gonna take it behind you as you begin to rotate to the left. Then you're gonna take it with a straight arm, you're gonna have it dance over your head as you come to a T looking at the back of the reformer. Let's try that again. That was a lot, right? So left arm's gonna go up towards the ceiling, and the rope's gonna go over your head as you open your shoulder here. And you're gonna go ahead and lift it up. So that's why we're on a super light spring. This is my extra light spring because of the rotation and a lot of the pressure for the shoulder. Good, but you can feel such a magical stretch here. Hopefully it feels good to you guys too. And let's go ahead, bring it back up and release it. Okay, so let's try that again on the other side. I'm gonna go back to my red, so let's add your reds or your medium spring and release the extra light. We'll swivel ourselves around. And we'll get into our mermaid, so right hand is on the foot bar. Let's bring our left arm up and over, shine those ribs up towards the ceiling, and come back down. Good. And nice and easy, we lift. And bring it down. Good. And again, we lift up. We're gonna hold it here It's our third one. We're gonna turn, rotate, left hand to the edge of the foot bar, right hand to the opposite edge, square yourself, press it away to 2 straight arms, and then let's go ahead and start to lift our chest, drop our shoulders, feel the work through our back muscles, through our extension. Inhale, drop. Good. Think of just dragging your shoulder blades down those back pockets. It's like you're wringing yourself out like a towel slightly. One more time. We'll lift, shine that chest, and press. Now hold it here. This is where we have to be super careful. Bring your right arm, your right hand into the center of the foot bar, and then release the left arm to come back up again. Okay, I'm adding my extra light spring. I'm releasing my medium spring, and I'm gonna find the loop in my right hand here, okay? So left hand is up. I'm gonna start here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start to bring that right arm straight up as I twist to the right. Okay, opening up through the shoulder joint. And then I'm gonna lift that arm up, rope goes over the head, and I'm looking at the back of the reformer, arms to a T. And lift up, and open. Reach. Good. So you should feel this in your spine as well. One more. If you feel like the rope is hitting you, it's because the arm is not lifting up as high. And turn. Perfect. And then carefully come back in. Nice and easy. Excellent. Let's stand ourselves up. Amazing. So we're gonna finish it with our roll downs. We did that in the beginning. Let's do a nice little check-in. How are we feeling? So hip distance apart with those feet. And we're gonna start to bring those arms up and take a dive down. So reach those fingertips towards the floor. Maybe you get there a little sooner. Maybe it's just not as uncomfortable as it was in the beginning. I know for me, this feels a lot better. And start to bring your body up, one vertebra at a time, head being the last thing to come up. One more time, guys. Let's go ahead and lift. And then let's go ahead and dive ourselves down. And I'm gonna intentionally push my right hip back because I know for me, I have right hip rotation. And from here, slowly bring it back up. If you wanna learn more about the posture, that's what my Wednesday videos are. So I definitely recommend tuning in. Those are my active teacher training students. Good, shoulders blow back. And there's so much good information that comes from those workouts, whether it's conversational with the students, it's such a good experience that they get for that one-on-one attention. But if you're like, I wanna understand postures more and maybe like what does my posture look like, definitely tune into those. It is just me teaching the students, but it's so informational, it's educational, it's inspiring. There's a lot of knowledge that goes into it. So I hope that you can find some pieces that will help you along your journey. And if it's something that relates to you and you want to do teacher training, because that could open up an entire different door for you. So thank you again for watching. Thank you for keep coming back here. Hit a thumbs up if you like this video. Save it if you want to come back to this workout because it's unilateral. Things change in our body. So I really appreciate, again, the subscribe. I'll see you next week.